All right, there we go. All right, got it there. And all right, Islam, peace, love, and lights to you all. I am brother Shiningly Ill. You know, all is well. And my bro, what was that? Y'all also be saying sometime? What was it?
Break
all right, and I'm here with here with my bro, the living master, and he is.
You're hilarious, bro. Every time you say that, like, I'm just brother outside. No, I get it though. Namaste, y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am brother Hassan Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at northwest of Maxim. How are you? Let's get it on Intuition Monday, man. Let's do this.
So we would like to welcome you to another episode of Intuition Monday, and this is number 68. Number 68, the 68th Intuition Monday. So we'd like to welcome you to here. All right, and we've got the Virgoan full moon that we're going to go in on. But before we get to the astrology, we got some history and law for you. To jog those memories, to bring that back to you. So, we're going to go in on Big Ben Day, right? We're also going to go in on CM Bay. So happy solar return to Big Ben Bay and CM Bay.
Wow.
So this will be our first portion. And then, like I said, the Brosy's got this pulled up. I've got a few little quick articles I'm gonna go through and read as well, and then we will get into the astrology where I'll be starting off. So yes, I am setting myself up for the 7th house. Would you look at that?
Looky, Astro Cookie.
So sign will be doing the 4 through 6, 10 through 12. If y'all not sure, you know how it goes. For our first time viewers, for our loyal, faithful viewers that come here and rock with us, you already know I'll be doing houses 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Brother Sign will be doing 4, 5, and 6, 10, 11, and 12. So tune in. It's the first Intuition Monday of the month. Get up. First Intuition of the month. Right. So yeah, bro, if you want to share it out, I can go ahead and just read this. And if you'll just want to scroll me up when needed. Feeling in a reading vibe today.
Yeah. I mean, cool. I mean, I think the only one that's really important as far as this being March 6th to show that, Big Ben, when he was manifested, and then we'll speak on when, we'll just add 165 years to 1732, and then we'll have the year when Charles Moseley Bay manifested also. Same day though, right? And that number, that 165, is significant. However, I think it's only the first paragraph, and this is from the Moorish American Institute Circle of Mothers and Sons page. This is PDF page 53 out of 77 pages, even though it should be 78 pages if I'm not mistaken. However, the one missing page that I saw was missing is in the Astronomy book due to someone not supposed to, it wasn't supposed to be loaded up or whatever, but that last page got found, right? So it is what it is. So that missing page got found. However, I yield to Brother Shiningly Mel. Islam.
All righty. Big Ben Bay. In 1795, Big Ben Bay laid the foundation of our federal government in New York City. He was a Moorish master astrologer, metaphysician, and a 360-degree master mason, plus a time clock inventor. He invented the Big Ben clock. Ben Bay was born on March 6, 1732, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is the original ancient Alhambra of North Africa. One more time. Let me get that to you. One more time. Big Ben Bay was born on March 6, 1732 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is the original ancient Alhambra of North Africa. I yield, bro.
Islam. I'm sitting here looking at the literature too. Shout out to one of our beloved sons in whom we're well pleased, John Alexander Dix, near the Maryland State Republic, actually. So looking at your literature, bro, you got that, teacher's edition. So all I have to do now is put the finishing touches on it. All of it is actually right here, right? Got all of your blocks folded, right? In the spirit of all this astrology, we'll be going in, all 12 of your blocks are folded, and all of your literature as far as the coloring book and things of that nature. So I just got some folding and stapling to do. So I just wanted to put that out there also. And then, man, you know what? I really wanted to share this out. So I'll say this real quick before I go to share this out. I want to make sure everybody got it first, and we'll just talk casually. And then we'll go into Harvey Bay Publications real quick for Charles Mosley Day. And then Brother Sean has some things to read from Clock of Destiny, right? The books 1 and 2, I think you said, right? I just wanted to bring to the forefront that 165 years after 1732, and that's a Neptune cycle. It takes Neptune about 164, 165 years to go 360 degrees. And boom, here's another Pisces, right? Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune contemporarily speaking. And then Big Ben Bay, Emmanuel Ben Bay Mu Ali, right? Is what I've seen it termed in certain dispensations. The prophet before the last prophet, which is Prophet Obadiah Ali, right? Big Ben Bay was manifested, the 6th of March also. And then 165 years later, here's Charles Mosley Day, which for me, I'm not saying this is what everybody says. For me, however, it's like, Charles Mosley Day then is Big Ben Bay reincarnated. 1897, March 6th or 6th March, 1897. It's 165 years later. Right? And it's like, wow. To actually see that just off of reading this, it's like, man, it's amazing how that actually, happened, and I can spot it, because when I read this for the first time, I'm like, yo, that's Ben Bay in a different, land conveyance called body, right? That's the same energy, just a Neptune cycle later. Seriously. You know what I mean? So I think that was interesting for me to see, right? Just very briefly though, bro, let me stop screen share here. And just wanted to say we're very thankful and grateful for that, as far as Emmanuel Ben Bay Mu Ali being who he was. And he was, the one who had to allow the Moors here that were going through all the family feuding and bickering, right? Forgive me, just wanted to make sure that was on point. Had to go through all the family feuding and bickering, right? Since they were going through those things and they were family feuding and bickering, Emmanuel Ben Bay Mu Ali, who in history is known, U.S. history, the reconstructed history is known as Benjamin Banneker, was the one that allowed the dark priesthood to, make sure the people will be brought back into shape by having the people go through the turmoil and the dreadful days and awful days that they had to go through. So instead of him losing the keys as far as, where did it go? What was loosed upon the people was a divine discipline, well calculated. And the people are still getting their ass kicks that are not in alignment with knowing exactly what needs to happen now, right? So with that being said, let me actually share this out, bro. Let me go to the YouTube real quick. Brother Sean, what are your thoughts when you read Circle of Mothers and Sons and we had that discussion about Big Emmanuel Ben Bey Muali, who's known as Big Ben Bey, right? And Charles Mosley Bay having the same solar return, one Neptune cycle apart. Like, where were you? Where were your thoughts, bro, on that?
Yo, just like mind blown, like wow, to see that, like coming previously like into it, like in astrology and just reading, he was kind of like, oh, okay, but not really tying it together. But now with the astrology and able to see that cycle, moving and manifest it, and just to know how the astrology works, it was just a beautiful thing. And to see what he did, because folks are like, oh, well, it ain't nothing. And then you see the work that Big Ben Bay had did, they'll be like Benjamin Banneker, and you see that the work that Charles Mosley Bay put in, Yim Bay, with the works and thing you did, it's like you can't not see the clear difference between the two. And it's clear to see that he was just finishing the work, continuing the work that was done before him in a previous avatar, body, life, whichever term you would like to use to fashion that for your own understanding. Right. Yeah, and just that whole circle of mothers and sons is great.
Shout out to the elders that allowed us to have that information. As much as many other books and things that are pertaining to higher science that we have archived, because we don't want a lot of these elders, losing their life and transitioning with the information not being, given to those of us that actually, and I mean, like, there's no one really in the whole entire Moorish community that is like Seven Hill Star, because we're not the commerce Moors. We comprehend how we reserve our rights while we repel the occupation that people try to automatically put on our beings. And we know how to repel the occupation in an intelligent tone without capitulating and having to employ 9-8 numbers or anything like that, honestly. You know what I mean? Even though we did a 9-8 number experiment a few years ago. You know what I mean? However, the way that it is actually utilized to our comprehension, we're not getting things for it. We're actually helping out our Jeffreys, our servants, all those public servants that a lot of people are scared of. You're scared of those executive branch servants, and we are not. We direct them. We are the ones who actually direct the planet. And I know a lot of people think, well, if you direct the planet, you wouldn't be on YouTube talking about do your Cash App for this. Guys, again, we're only, first of all, we freely do what we do. However, you want our energy exchange to better your life, then you're going to respect that energy exchange with a proper energy exchange. And you're not going to feel robbed when you're done. You're really going to, you're really going to feel like you robbed us because we give you way more than what you really expect. Completely way more. Right. So, Brother Sean, what are your thoughts when it comes to the fact that the people got their ass spanked for warring against each other? And so what Big Ben Bay set in order was the governance department, the ordinance department, and Department of Justice, right? The GODs, right? GOD, the in God we trust, right? And we trust to do what? Spank you back into shape, right? What are your thoughts on that?
It's clear to see they still ain't been spanked enough to be in shape. And yeah, like it's that hypnosis on the whole God thing is so strong, like, and it was only created and like it was like, oh, when was that date again when he created? And it's like it's not even like an ancient thing, and like at some point everyone had thought that was like an ancient old word, and that was only made up in like the 1700s. So it's not
Mhm.
even like an ancient thing, and they turned that into like a sky daddy type thing. I mean, even seeing Bay goes into it further, with the whole devil thing, the lower self, and even Prophet Noble Jolie said, the devil is just your lower self. And it's termed to be like some sky daddy up in the clouds and some being under the ground with a pitchfork. And it's like after so yes, I'm gonna get you like type thing, and like it's just another mystic name, but beings have been tricked into the mystic names, and when confronted with something that makes them have to challenge their beliefs, if they're too comfortable and stuck upon it, they'll get emotional and reject the thing that they've been calling upon, asking for. They can't realize that that's within themselves, because they've always looking outward for something or looking for something from others. So once again, just that term, folks get so strong and so worked up, but like once you kind of like do a little study into words and what the meaning is and just different meanings, you won't be so caught up on a term and being, you'll be able to sound the root and foundation of it so that you're not getting emotional or worked up. And you're able to stay like grounded and control within yourself and be able to speak that truth just on multiple different levels, with that. But yeah, being still been caught up and still hating themselves, and which in turn gives hate to others. And it's all just because of a lack of knowledge, a lack of truth, and not taking that next step to being secure and finding that for themselves. So they got the word God, and then they've got beings who can interpret that word God or the scriptures or whatever, when all it ever really was not needing a middleman to realize that you're connected to source and that you can understand those for yourself, which just comes back to like accountability and responsibility with that.
It's long. It's long. Trying to think too. I was just, as you can see, the jurisprudence gem really quickly. Got a few notifications that actually check out there also. Just to come back here really quickly. All right, so
It's it's like I think they're in like having regular church, but their minds, like they might physically think they're in the regular church, but their mind is still in children's Sunday school on the personified stories. And
mhm.
not seeing that it's for you to realize that. But then that question comes, if you can look in the mirror, it's like, do you want to accept that you are all these beings, or are you still like gonna continue to keep looking outside of yourself? And then you'll be asking why. Universe is like, hey, yo, I'm trying to show you something. I might send you the chills or numbers or information of beings for you to go research, like various different things. So
It's long.
like I said, it's about to be a hot summer, but it's about to be cold for some. Like, whoosh.
It's long.
For real.
CM Bay, right? We're here at rvbaypublications.com. PhD LLD, right? Got a doctorate in philosophy and a doctorate in law. 33rd 360-degree Master Mason, free Moorish American astrologer, Moorish Constitution lawgiver, right? Interessante, very Manu of him. For those of you that know that Manu is the lawgiver in Vedic astrology, he would be the Manu, right? It's funny too, because this is Big Ben Bay now in the body pertaining to Charles Mosley Bay. Manu is in the middle of Emmanuel, right? So Cullipon is with us, all right? So here on rvbaypublications.com, we're going to go paragraph for paragraph on this joint, right? The Moorish American Institute was founded by CM Bay, which is Charles Mosley Bay, in 1965. It was organized and headed under the name of Clock of Destiny National Cultural Club. Its doors were open to students who sought the teachings of Noble Drew Ali by Charles Moseley Bay at 8916 Cedar Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio. Charles Moseley Bay continued those teachings from 1965 to 1969 at the above location. At that time, Cleveland, Ohio was the only city where the lessons of Charles Moseley Bay were being taught.
After the establishment of Clark of Destiny National Culture Club, CM Bay moved forward to form another group. At one time, there were as many as 4 different organizations headed under the Clark of Destiny National Culture Club operating in the city of Cleveland. Even though CM Bay was closely affiliated with James Johnson Bay in 1956, and considering him as a vital functioning entity for the distribution of this knowledge, James Johnson Bay formed the now existing Moorish American Institute in 1970, which was housed at 2844 Woodhill Road, Cleveland, Ohio.
The Institute has always maintained original teachings of Noble Drew Ali, passed down through the various teachers since 1965, and prior to the establishment of the Moorish Science Temple as its acquisition to religious connotations. As direly expressed, so as not to cause confusion to those who are seeking religious principles, Moorish American Institute is not a religious organization or church. Our sole structure is based on logic pertaining to universal knowledge and scientific definitions thereof.
Moorish American Institute specializes in the teaching of Moorish history, zodiac science, yoga, and many other sciences that tend to aid humanity in understanding the universe which surrounds and is within us. When the true Moorish history is known to the Asiatics, not Negro black colors, right? Asiatics, Moors, they will no longer have a reason to resent the Europeans. Oh man, I can't stand the white man. The white man say you gotta do this and that. The white man this. We gotta fight the power, brother.
They're so not white. They're definitely the real black man and black woman because they're pale, right? Our sons and daughters are really the black ones. It's so funny, though. It is what it is. Don't you guys get offended by truth. Upon completion and through understanding.
Well, hold on 1 second, bro. If you do get offended, please record yourself so we can auto-tune that Wemby Lands for you.
Flat out, right? Like Malika has said, she was like, when people start crying about studying, we should basically do as a video that is like auto-tuning their crying and whatnot. Like that is so hilarious. However, of the students, okay, upon completion and through understanding of the students, 10-week introductory courses, 10 strongs, introductory course, he or she will then have acquired enough tools to enable the student to be issued a Moorish American Institute nationality card. At this point in time, students are then advised to continue their pursuit of even higher studies through the circle of mothers and sons. Within this circle, the student acquires a broader scope of universal knowledge and effect, wherein he or she will become totally able to utilize the tools and skills obtained in order to display intelligence, uprightness, and to become productive individuals mentally, physically, and spiritually, and to help others like themselves continue the struggle to revive and reorganize that which has been lost from us during the time of Asiatic rulership over the masses.
All right, and just a quick part. CM Bay and Big Ben Bay's solar return fell on the Intuition Monday. So honest to that.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it should be noted to all prospective students of interest that during the course of learning, one will come to know things that the average layman may term deviating or slick. Caution is advised to all, and that this knowledge should never be exploited or hustled for personal gain over those who are not aware that it even exists, nor how to best apply it for their own personal benefit and or success, be it to themselves or to the nation as a whole. Failure to adhere to such a warning will only result in the destruction of the perpetrator.
C.M. Bay authored Clock of Destiny 1 and Clock of Destiny 2, a great humanitarian treatise, which was filed in the Library of Congress with obvious intent to be public material and for preservation. He also wrote Circle of Life, wherein one can do a personal chart based on the planetary energies at one's manifestation, termed birth, and the Zodiac Constitution, as well as humanitarian episodes, lessons. Brother Sean, you wanted to go in on some parts from, you want to share your screen for Clock of Destiny Book 1 and Book 2?
Indeed.
All righty. I yield, bro.
Right, yeah, boom. And then, great, here we go. Zoom in here. All right, so we're just gonna go through a couple different little articles here. So, a keynote of wisdom, right? In order that you might readily understand the contents of this book and all the other things that Seven Hailstar has shared with you, and also the honorable elders, you're advised to momentarily lay aside all that which you have been taught to believe except mathematics. And as a result, you will be guided by common reason rather than by traditional emotional belief. I am aware of the fact that both Muslim and Christ teachers have a monopoly on mystic religious superstition, but not on mathematics, the science of geometry involving the 12 signs of the zodiac, the universal law, Islam. All right, I'm going to come to here real quick, astrology and astronomy. The difference between astrology and astronomy is that astrology treats of human characteristics, talents, action, and reaction. Sociology, economics, and global geography, or space and time. Astronomy is the priest, pope, bishop, rabbi, preacher, duke, duchess, queens, king, and Anglo-Saxon lord's code of the Christian world, of whom propagates the myth culture of heaven in the sky and hell below after death. One more time. Astronomy is the priest, pope, bishop, rabbi, preacher, duke, duchess, queen, king, and Anglo-Saxon lord's code of the Christian world, of whom propagates the myth culture of heaven in the sky and hell below after death. All right, so let me zoom out of this real quick, and we'll go next to, let's go, here we go. We're moving next. Get out the way, bam, bam. All right, so now coming to the two empires during the past 1,367 years of the new era of Islam. During the past 1,367 years, there have been only two world empires, namely the Moorish Empire of the Order of Islam and the Roman Empire of the Order of Christ and Mary, quote unquote. The Order of, quote unquote, Christ is 173 years old, calculated from 1784, the era which resulted in the birth of the United States Marine Force in colonial North America. The cream of the German, Francisco, or French legions referred to as quote-unquote pirates. All right, and it was not too long after that, Big Ben Bay gave them the word God. That's not too long, about 10, 11 years after that came into, right? What was that, 1785, bro?
Let me see. 1795, but I'll bring it back up. let's see. 1795 is when they laid the foundation for our federal government near New Amsterdam, turned New York City.
All right, so it's 21 years later, so that's up 3. All right, here we go. So during the Moorish world domination, there was no Europe, England, France, Greece, Rome, Egypt, Africa, China, Japan, or Russia across the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans. Jesus Christ. Did y'all hear that? I mean, are you... Oh, I'm ancient Egypt. Let me just give it to you one more time. During the Moorish world domination, not no black domination, not no Ethiopian domination, or Hebrew Israelite, or whoever else terms you want to use, not no African American world domination, or during the Moorish.
Definitely not that.
During the Moorish world domination, there was no Europe, England, France, Greece, Rome, Egypt, Africa, China, Japan, or Russia across the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans. Let's keep going. Therefore, United States history of the Christian order. I love reading Clock of Destiny. You can, can't get enough. Michael Jackson, don't stop till you get enough. I ain't never gonna get enough of this. Therefore, United States history of the Christian order might be compared with that of the celebrative story referred to as quote-unquote Santa Claus mythology. Ask yourself, did you ever stop to think that on the most sacred day of the Christian order, namely December 25th, the Christian nations promulgate the world's greatest false, the myth of quote-unquote Santa Claus? Remember, December 25th is the foundation of the philosophy of quote-unquote Christ. There we go, that's the end of it. All right, so here we go. The history of the Moorish nation lies in the library of every state of the Union. The history of the Moorish nation, our forefathers, lies hidden in the library of every state of the Union, and also in the library of practically every home of European Americans, referred to as quote-unquote white people. Therefore, the history of the Moorish Empire is not news to them, or is not new to them, for they have been guided by the history of the Moors under potent influence of fear and hatred during the past 93 years, calculated from 1865.
That's why I said that Albion, the pale skin, they're our sons and daughters. They were never and can never be ever and can never be ever white people. Those that have the status pertaining to white are those of us that are various olive shade or copper tone skin. We are the ones that have the status pertaining to white. Our pale skinned sons and daughters at best are subjects pertaining to those that are white. There has just been a great discord and war happening. And people think, oh, well, they're powerful. They have this army. They didn't have shit. All of it is ours. And what we need to do is come back to that mindset pertaining to our ancient foremothers and forefathers so that our days are long upon the earth land. And that's not some dogmatic bullshit. This is you being the I am identity. The I am identity in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary is Jesus. Everyone has to be their own Jesus. Everyone has to recognize that all this stuff that you think you know, it has not been shared with you properly, because you think the Bible has something to do with, as Brother Sean said, some sky daddy and someone from 2,000 years ago. That energy pertaining to that spirit and being is something that manifests when we align ourselves appropriately, and then our consciousness in harmony with our endocrine system bring forth those things that you see, time, beings, and places that are in the Bible, those beings of different characters and the different times that it took place and at the different places are all poetic fiction that allude to the astromasonic fact that this is dealing with your consciousness tied to your endocrine system. Period. That's it. That is all. You're coming out of mental bondage to sense consciousness. What's mental bondage to sense consciousness? Egypt, Misraim. And you're making your exodus. You're coming out of mental bondage to sense consciousness and coming into spiritual consciousness. What's spiritual consciousness? That's called Israel. One who is in spiritual consciousness. Based on you are knowing about the planets and you're in spiritual consciousness. That's what a real Iber Israelite is, or termed Hebrew Israelite, which again is not someone who has a karaoke machine shouting Bible verses at you. All righty. I yield, bro. Islam.
Islam. All right. And then this next part will is going to tie into tomorrow's full moon. 16 degrees Virgo's Christian ministries, a degree of symbolism. All right, so continuing with this, the basic reason why Asiatics can never become Christians. It is impossible for the people of heavy olive and light olive hue of skin, commonly known as dark brown and light brown, to ever become a Christian because of this fact. The Christians worship a quote-unquote white son of God and quote-unquote white Mother Mary, the very image of themselves. The Christian quote-unquote God, if you remember, we showed you in Big Ben Bay Government Ordnance Department, and we also noticed to call upon, is definitely white or ruddy pale, because his only begotten son is tangible evidence. Now, you might ask yourself this question: what chance do I have to enter the gates of the Christian heaven, dominated by a quote white God, his son, and his son's mother Mary, end quote? The very image of the woman who falsely cries quote unquote rape, followed by a son's cross burning and lynching. Such is the Christian nation's heaven, dominated by the quote unquote white woman, the God of hatred, fear, crime, and corruption. On the contrary, there was a specific reason for this new masses of humanity, referred to as quote unquote white people, to establish the church and false doctrine of quote unquote Christ and Mary. So let's observe the reason in order that we might take a broad view. Broad, we're not going to consolidate, stricken our view, which will enable us to erase the hatred against them, which is now dominating our nature. As we read to you, and as it has already been stated elsewhere in this book, that during the past 1,367 years, there has only been two world empires, namely the Moorish Empire of the Order of Islam and the Christian Empire of the Order of Christ. During the world domination of the Moorish nation, the blonde women of Patagonia, South America, had manifested their cultural heights in the Society of Islam, which qualified them to establish a society of the cross laden with mystery and emotional false doctrines as a positive weapon of liberating themselves from the amalgamated iron hand rulers or dictators who had shielded some. There we go. Screwed over. There we go. Zoom out. Zoom in. Zoom out. Zoom in. Here we go. Right. So now the secrets of nature, as shown in the 12 signs of the zodiac, and establish a doctrine of mystery and religious superstition by force.
By force.
As a result, by force. As a result, The following amalgamated generation of Moorish fathers and blonde mothers grew up in ignorance of the science of the 12 signs of the zodiac and the applied principles of Islam, which in turn resulted in the corruption of the society of Islam under the influence of Islamism of variable, unreasonable procedures of religious worship, strenuous, mysterious prayers, and the restriction of literary education to the common masses. All right, now we're gonna finish that. Y'all can get that. We're gonna move. I got a couple more things we're gonna touch on.
It's funny you had mentioned that portion about that. You got the circle of mothers and sons there too for Big Ben Bay. I know you're still going in what you're going in on, but the dictatorship portion that you was talking about, man, like before we go into the charts, like, man, it actually says that right there. So it's like you can see the resonating information pertaining to that portion of Big Ben Bay and the circle of mothers and sons and what's here in the clock of destiny. However, I yield, bro. Islam.
All right, so we're gonna come to this portion. Names of deception and confusion. Yaqub's sons and daughters have given themselves many names, most common of which are Afghan, quote unquote, or African, Indian, Spanish, Negro, Egyptians, Ethiopian, Garakru, quote unquote, or Greek, red men, Jew, and the last of which is quote unquote China, or quote unquote white people. The myth of white supremacy. The myth of white supremacy referred to as the quote unquote walls of China, the world of make-believe. When conversing with the so-called white people, if the subject of race, blood, color, and nationality should animate from their lips, all you have to do is ask them this question. Have you read the history of Yaqub? Just that one simple question. And as a result, the subject of blood, color, and race will come to an abrupt close with thoughts and arguments of confusion. The question involves the history which the white people has had thoughts you would never know. Warning, above all, do not emotionally resort to hatred against the blind children of Yaqub. Otherwise, you will be setting up a race of hatred against yourself due to the long process of global amalgamation.
That means cross-sexualization. Everybody fucking everybody's like, oh, mixing with this and mixing with that and mixing with that's why in chapter 48, the Quran, it says we do not seek to, amalgamate with the pale-skinned nations of Europe. That's not being mean. That's okay, things are out of order and things need to get back in order, and things are out of order because all this amalgamation has been happening. Hyper cross-sexualization. I yield.
Islam. The entire human family have a slight percentage of the new dreadful disease, namely leprosy. TB was tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis.
All right. And syphilis. After World Conflict 3, there will not be enough blind sons left to continue the spread of the aforementioned diseases.
Blind
women.
The Albion daughters will be spared, and they're going to be wishing that Moorish sons take them on. But go ahead, read what it says there. I yield.
The blind women, the Albion daughters, the pale daughters, right?
I'm not into incest though, but go ahead.
Will be spared to face the long evaded issue on global scales, namely amalgamation with the Asiatic sons, from which will destroy the cherished quote-unquote white-skinned people and their disease in the course of 90 years. 90
years is what it will take to get rid of complete pale skins. 90 years. Once the suns fall,
3 Saturn.
That's why a lot of sons are trying to, put their sperm into Moabite mothers. They're trying to do the blooding back is happening. It's been happening. Remember, this is a document from 1947. So you can try to, we got to get away from it. Can't. You can't.
Gratitude for that, broski. All right. So now coming to Clock of Destiny, Book 2. Clock of Destiny, Your Master Key of Civilization by C.M. Bay. Manassas. Manassas is the lost tribe of Israel. This lost tribe comprised the English people and the white people of the U.S.A. and Australia, the French, and the so-called Jewish people, plus the quote-unquote Negro of the U.S.A., including the Muslims and Muslims. All of this divided people are idolatry god worshippers of mysticism and mythology. They oppose the Moabite and Moorish science of the 12 signs of the zodiac as a result of their beliefs in mythology, Tim, and idol god worship, which is devil worship, and Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. The truth needs no apology, so fear ye not. If you're not ready for truth, close this book. Block 7 Hillstar and don't read or follow us any further.
Woo-wee. I know some people are probably thinking to themselves, damn, I wish it was us, because there's like people out here who are like saying, and you're welcome. They're like, oh, you can join my class for this amount for this year or this. We got access to all the law dictionaries, all the Black's Law dictionaries. You're welcome. So people are taking from Prophet Noble Drali University and trying to start their own things. We inspire you people, you Negro Black coloreds. Well, you're not, the things you do are not going to last. Actually, they're just not going to last. You're going to crumble. It's going to fall. Because in order to really maintain these things sincerely, you must declare and proclaim your nationality. You can keep trying to avoid being Moorish American. Once you keep studying, you find out that that's your only soul, that's the only soul foundation for your survival, for you to be an American citizen. A lot of you is just, yeah, man, this is how we got to trick the commerce. And it's like, man, we're just so on a mountain and flying high above you idiots. And it's like, you got to see that you're a fucking idiot first, so that you can stop doing idiot stuff. We know your ears make you be offended by what's coming out of my mouth, and like, oh, you motherfucker think he is half a Newton ass motherfucker. Shut up. We're helping you. We're throwing you a life raft every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I just think you really like, sharks biting at your toes. You like barely, staying above water, because you're too busy trying to be cool, being Black and proud. I don't know too many dead people that have pride. Too many pale dead monkeys that have pride. Why do you keep taking on when you have olive shade skin, various copper toned skin? Let your Albion sons and daughters be the real niggas that they are. Because the real nigga is the troglodyte nigger. The real Black man and Black woman is the pale skin. I'm not being mean. Just a lot of you guys just haven't heard this, or you're just immediately offended. I don't give a fuck. Because the truth is stern and don't change nor pass away. I'm not about to sit here and cater to your ass either. Everything has to be back in order. We must be in harmony with nature. I yield the floor, beloved brother Islam.
Islam. All right, we got the mystery of Babylon, or the Tower of Babel. The mystery of Babylon, or the Tower of Babel, represents the 48 states of North America, divided against itself. Each of the 48 states has its capital and code of traditions different from each other, which represents 48 different nations speaking the same language, English, but cannot agree or understand one another on the necessary problems, that is to say, solution to necessary problems for the economic and social benefit for the common masses collectively owing to traditional state rights code. Each of the 48 states has the right to protect its code of traditions. This results in confusion of tongues as a result of debates and filibustering over that which is right and that which is wrong according to state right traditional standard, all of which spells the mystery of Babylon, the Tower of Babel, confusion. A house divided against itself cannot stand. 12 is a universal standard of measurement and human moral principles standard of law of living, minus customs and traditions. Customs and traditions are debatable, but the universal 12 standard law principles of living are absolute, meaning perfect and therefore are not debatable. Are not. All right, then let's see. You can come to the last little portion. Here we go. Yeah. All right. The real hell and purgatory. Ignorance of the scientific truth of the works of nature involving the inner nature and action and reaction of human beings as shown in the 12 signs of the zodiac results in a confused state of mind and mental and economic and social suffering, referred to as quote unquote hell. The real heaven, freedom, and peace, salam. Knowledge of the zodiac gives one a perfect state of mind and reason upon that, namely, the forces of nature which dwell within themselves and about them all of which is referred to as heaven, quote unquote, and happiness, and peace of mind within oneself. Quote, we have nothing to fear except fear itself, end quote. So seek scientific knowledge of the 12 signs of the zodiac. Then you will be set free of artificial culture and fear. Salam means peace in the Moorish language of Latin. No. All right, I'll hit the stop the screen share there, and y'all can go get that from RV Bay Publications, Clock of Destiny Book 1 and Book 2. So make sure you go get that for yourselves to go read. There's a lot more in there than what we just shared with you, that you can learn from. But now we are about a good to astrology.
What? What did you say?
Pardon me. I said now we're about to get into the astrology journalists. Bro, you had anything else? We got anybody in the YouTube chat?
I mean, oh yeah, let me check the YouTube chat because I was definitely sharing out on Facebook. I didn't really completely finish doing what is in Instagram because I want to make sure I'm sending it and paying attention also. So let me actually take this out. Look at this again. It's about 10 beings that are there, bro. So let me just grab my phone here. It's about 10 beings that are in the chat, right? Well, that are watching. Slim Herbin is the only one that says he's giving the 5 on the left, 2 on the right, right? So he's saying peace and love there, right? That's about it. So peace and love, brother Slim, right? And when you guys come into, picking your appellations, start using your appellations, guys. Don't be afraid to use your appellations, right? Because it's much better to be yourself, right? And be it openly, without doubt or contradiction at all. Because what I've learned about the various copper tone beings coming back into the knowledge pertaining to, their nationality and birthrights, the Albion sons and daughters grasp to it quicker the ones that sincerely want to know the information, man, I'm telling you, there's a lot of Albion sons and daughters that grasp this science so much quicker because they're like, no, man, but that actually makes sense because blah, 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 blah. And they'd be like, man, more, the various copper toned, beings that come into this knowledge, it's such a spell that's been put on you guys that you're always fighting yourself. Your higher self and lower self are always in battle. When our Albion sons and daughters, as we actually grafted them to be, are very good custodians when they are operating on the principle pertaining to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and being the position that they're meant to be. And that's Moorish subjects, to basically make sure that they are guarding the Moorish culture until all of us actually come back to the consciousness and making sure we're ruling the world appropriately here, as we do every cycle. So a lot of you just have to kind of get out of the mindset of, being off about who you are actually. You got to get out of that mindset. However, with that being said, let's get into these charts now, guys. Let's do these global testimonies. I'm so thankful we were able to go into, since this is 6th March 2023, we had to give the solar return shout outs for Emmanuel bin Bey Ali, known as Big Ben Bey, colloquially speaking amongst sincere Moorish Americans. However, in the Unum Sanctum history books, U.S. Unum Sanctum history books, they term Big Ben Bey as Benjamin Banneker, right? So I'm glad that we, haven't sworn a death oath to keep things from you. So what we do is we share freely and unapologetically. And if you don't comprehend, then that means you need to make sure that you are conscious pertaining to the knowledge that needs to be known. All right. You need to know these things, right? I think Brother Jag just shared that we don't deal with who's that guy? Who's that idiot that thinks he runs Clock of Destiny in the college? Something Naheem or something like that. I don't, he's some idiot who just is some sellout, that taking a lot of the lessons pertaining to Great Seal and Clock of Destiny, and he thinks he's running it or whatever. And I'm glad his bullshit appellation escapes me at the moment. But yeah, I think that's what Brother Jag just sent, as a PDF file or whatever. You know what I mean? Nobody pays attention to that guy, right? However, yeah, nobody pays attention to that guy, Brother Jay, but I'm glad you sent that in the chat, at least, our iMessage chat that we have. So yeah, but nobody really pays attention to that guy. I remember I spoke with Mother Rashida Bey recently, and she was like, this idiot going around teaching these various Albions in Europe this stuff, and they're not supposed to have it like that. And it's like, technically a part of that is true. However, also, they're to also get in harmony with honoring their ancient foremothers and forefathers and being back in the position pertaining to subject. All that warring and fighting, all of that stuff, that spirit is quelched. You know what portion of the cycle that we're in right now? Like, stop it. All right. So let's get this going, right? And enjoy ourselves, guys. Let's really enjoy ourselves. Let's have some fun. My beloved brother, no more, please, Brother Sean Ali Mel is going to share these charts. All right. All right. Now you said I have 4 through 6 and 10 through 12.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So that means you're kicking it off then, bro.
Mm-hmm.
In the Aquarius zone. Excelente, bro. I yield the floor. Islam.
Fine, let me chill on the munching.
Munching.
On too. All right, so the full moon in Aquarius zone. Give me 1 second.
Oh yeah, do your thing, man. I already know how it is. It's all good. But right now, guys, we would like for you to go to 7healstar.com. Make sure you signed up for our email list at 7healstar.com so you can receive those beautiful emails that come out, are scheduled to come out every Thursday, right? So you guys can expand the information necessary for yourselves. We look forward to you guys actually scheduling your Mirror Astro Literacy session. You guys can schedule your Mirror Astro Literacy session with because what we don't do, we're not sitting here hustling and trying to, sell you astrology stuff. I mean, for laughing and quiet, we're the only Moorish American website where you can come and cash your natal chart for nothing. It's free. We have an astrology widget there, a natal chart widget there, courtesy of one of our colleagues, actually. And some other things is about to be coming soon. Also, I think I'm going to, due to most recent support, put some other things on the website that you guys can get from us that are reports. Here's my question. I want to do a survey real quick.
It just made me think of something. Maybe in that same wavelength from a conversation a while back that we talked about for one of those serious extensions.
Exactly, the Native American Medicine Report.
Telepathy.
Because I'm not really about the whole pushing the Native American paradigm as much as pointing out really the astrology that is utilized for what is termed Native American medicine. And I was thinking about putting a report on the website for you all. What do you think? Do you want a Native American medicine report? Let us know. All right. We look forward to your feedback. However, I yield the floor to my beloved brother, whom I'm well pleased, Brother Sean Ali Mel, Islam.
All right, let's get right on into it. So it's the full moon Aquarius zone. This is occurring March 7th, 2023, Tuesday on the Mars day, occurring at 1700 hours, 40 minutes, 21 seconds, 5:40:21 post meridian. And we at Hyderabad, Pakistan. All right, so we have Luna in the first house, and we have the sun in the seventh. Jag, if you're still watching, y'all, yeah. Next time you get in that sixth house, buddy. You getting that 6. Right. So we have this occurring at 16 degrees. Would you look at that? This at 7. We add that 6 and 1. So what I'm really getting for this Pakistan and also Virgo risings is this is coming to this is like physical health and spiritual health here, right? Moon and Virgo in the first house. So there's a lot of maybe still piecing together some details or maybe just overthinking or over worrying when it comes to just yourself. So maybe finding some self-leadership courses or finding ways to be a leader within yourself. Suns and Pisces in the 7th house. All right. So that's surrendering to, especially those in relationships. So with this full moon, for those that might feel out of balance in their selves and their partnerships, they could just be surrendering to the universe, right? To the call upon, what some of us like to call God, just surrendering to the unseen and the higher power that they know that they may fear with that. And if we want to look at, let's see, Mercury and Saturn, right? finals positives. Mercury will be conjunct Spirit and Fortune. So yeah, there's going to be some communication to your health. Maybe it comes through the form of starting yoga, like maybe doing yoga or starting to go to the gym. I remember, two of the coworkers talking about going to the gym, starting that, or, doing something together, right? Having someone else to help you be accountable, but also just the feeling of not, having to do something by yourself if you're not really used to that avenue. Right. And Mercury is also, ruling the chart opposite of the house. So yeah, there's going to be a communications coming to the spirit. So surrendering, breaking away from things that aren't serving you anymore. Right. Whether that could be people's, things, places, and this cycle, or different, dimensions and timelines, just breaking away from what's not serving you because right, this is the last full moon before the Astro New Year. So this is really a good time to really employ those fake New Year, the Janus New Year worshipers, right? December 31st, to really take those plans of your so-called resolutions and put them into action and just let go of what's not serving you. So I will yield for that. All right.
Wow.
So I'll move into the Capricorn zone next. All right. We're at Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. All right. We have Luna in the second house. We have the sun in the eighth. All right. So Luna's in the second house. This is dealing with values, personal finances, also movable possessions. So yeah, and if you remember earlier, as I was reading, 16 degrees Virgo is Christian ministries, a degree of symbolism. So I think with what me and Brother Hassan shared to you earlier, and other true and sincere beings sharing, for those around this Ethiopia area, they're gonna be able to see the truth and the whole truth, right? When it comes to what they came to believe, and just now they're seeing signs that helps them get past those beliefs. So it's like, hey, we're not, Christians, or we're not Ethiopia. We're not, a demarcation line. So coming into that truth of their value and others' values who may be in control of their resources, right? For those that are taking the oath to be public in the public office to work for the people, and now they'll start to see when you look into the details and get into research, that it's like, hey, I'm seeing the bigger picture, and these beings are not doing what they said they are. So able to get it into that, right? Sun's ruling in its chart from the eighth. So yeah. Being able to really to fix the homes, it's like, why keep going through the fascination and denial of things that are not serving you just because these beings are in the office or some kind of position? It's like, are they doing it or not? Are they helping beings build the home? And in another sense, beings also, because start to realize that government is the first home. So looking to restructure that for themselves.
Government starts at home. Government starts succinctly with family. And where do families come from? I wonder. Where do families come from?
Yeah, and this is gonna be a lot of eye-opening, right? A lot of letting go, right? Yeah, and if you look at the ascendant scoring the south node. So yeah, the light's gonna be, and that's at a Cancer degree too. So you're gonna feel and know. I mean, if you've been ignoring for so long, I mean, the universe is really going to make things happen to where you'll be, forced to make changes. So you're seeing things that you're comfortable with. Once again, South nodes and Scorpio, you're able to see those changes, and if you really internalize it and feel it, what's not serving you, what's not making you feel like you're operating out of your heart space, and you will not be able to deny it, right? And the first thing, if you're not, grounded within yourself, you'll be wanting to blame others for what it really is yourself. And with that, I will yield the floor. I'm going next to where you at, Sagittarius. Boom. So the Sagittarius zone. All right. We're at Masibi, Angola. And this is still occurring on the Tuesday as well. So this is a very active day, right? March 7th, 16 degrees equals to a 7. All right. Pardon me. So we have the lunar solar reflection now in the 3rd and 9th houses. Look, you have Cancer on the rise at 11 degrees, 57 minutes. All right, so for you guys here, Masibi, Angola, 3rd and 9th. Y'all will be able to let go, right? It's the degree of Christian ministers, right? It's like, hey, I seen that presentation and seen the difference between astrology and astronomy. And now I'm seeing that these stars are just stories about beings that are within me, right? And that I'm not needing a middleman to really connect. So I'm able to now start letting go of these different beliefs that I was raised with and that were also projected onto me. And this is going on within your mind. So you're able to have a spring cleaning within your mind, within your gut here. So maybe doing a fruit fast, right? Or a water fast, or just looking to change your diets, suns in the 9th. So you're looking at the information that was received that was foreign to you in a different light now. And you're able to mine within yourself, right? Cancer degree, to get those gems that you have stored within you. They're just waiting to be activated. It's like when you're coming to your domus and you flip the light switch, those lights are ready to be cut on. You just gotta flip the switch. Flip.
Complete the circuit.
Right? And light that within yourself. And Luna is the chart ruler in the 3rd in Virgo. Like I said, cleaning and organizing here. Mercury and Saturn is in the 8th. So that's a transformation current that you can't deny. Mercury's conjunct vertex. So you have a favorite relation. Maybe you're learning some law and someone's taking the chance to ask some questions that they've seen or studied, right? When it comes to beings being over or trustees of our resources and land. It's like, hey man, I didn't watch Brother R and Brother Sign and all 7 Hill Star and Lawful Living go in. And it's like, I'm overcoming that fear of overthinking, or maybe just only seeing the bigger picture, not having the details, or just not having the details in that fashion, so that now you can, like I said, let go, so that you can start this Astro New Year on the clean slate. And just for those that have already, and their emotions, able to do a different foundation, continue to just let go and move forward. Realizing that they're on a lifelong and from multiple past lifelong journey. So let it go of those things and their past lives and ancestral bloodline, and picking up new things that's foreign, but it's interesting, so that they can clear and release. With that, I will yield it to the floor and take it to the Scorpio zone where Brother Hassan going in.
Islam. Just wanted to I already got this, 1 page laminated. And again, shout out to John Alexander Dix for getting the teacher's edition. So I'm about to make sure I finalize all your literature. See, the books are folded. They just got to get the covers completed and stapled. And then I'll make sure we have the finish on your Astro Aura cubes, as they are put with the finish on them that is necessary. However, while at the same time, as I say, all of the cubes, you guys already know, I don't pre-fold all your cubes unless you get the teacher's edition. All right. And, the Starseeds AstroLiteracy set is 30 units, for the ones that just come with the blocks being paper. However, if you want the teacher's edition is 180 units in lieu of lawful money. So thank you for those of you out there that have also in the past honored that, because this definitely does take a lot of my time and energy, because I am doing this by hand for you all with my own materials also. So thank you all so much for your support there as well. Full moon, right? Within the Scorpio zone, right? And this is taking place in the 4th and 10th house. The Luna is actually in the 4th house, and Sol is in the 10th. Gemini on the rise there, and you can see Mercury is there just about 9, almost less than, almost exactly at, well, really past actually 9 degrees, going on his way to about 8 degrees very soon. It's about 42 minutes actually away from that. So, you know, the inverse to 42 as far as 60 is concerned would actually be 18. So it's about 8 degrees, 18 minutes away from the sun. And with that being said, being there in Pisces, I know that the way that things are going to turn out, and as far as how things are going to be communicated, people are really being self-activating when it comes to communicating the things that are tied to themselves spiritually, while also at the same time feeling a little bit of a combustion, so to speak, as far as, you know, maybe a little heated and not really meeting eye to eye with others, while at the same time really taking the beauty in that and allowing themselves to bring through the process and making sure they can nurture in an instituting fashion and instill within themselves a means to really allow the wisdom to flow and completely have what's reflected, the details necessary that will create a process within themselves, so that they can be able to intestinally, or I say institute for Neptune, but intestines for Virgo, intestinally digest that which will allow their heart to shine the light necessary on their subconscious mind and be able to reflect the details necessary in securing that which will be very homely to them, so to speak. So when it comes to secrets also, don't allow yourself to fly off the handle, although you might come across someone who, you know, your subconscious mind may see into something that they may want to cover. So you may have to make a decision to walk away from certain conversations that may take place, because some people may just be in straight denial when you find out and or go into the details. With that, I yield the floor. Pretty sure now I'm going to be moving into number 5, right? And hey, look at that, Libra zone, right? In fashion, as we always do. So this is in the 5th and the 11th house, right? So what I can actually say here, what's actually taking place, and it's very interesting that this is happening at 27 degrees Aries, right? Where you know, it's very close, just about a degree and 25 minutes away from the prophet of a new order degree, which is 29 degrees, right? Where we know that the new moon for Aries is going to take place. And I think we're having 2 new moons during the Aries transit, if I'm not mistaken, to be very honest with you. All right. So with that being said, what I can really see for you all, collectively speaking, we'll be able to really shine the light on our creativities and how we're really assisting others' creativities also, and making sure that what we can actually do is find a way to be very innovative in how we communicate what's on our heart. So you'll actually have an opportunity also, the people will find a way to be able to work with someone that they look up to. All right. You never know. It may be, let's say, if it's a musician and a musician goes, hey, I'm doing this next music project. However, we want you guys to give your lyrics. And that way we'll sing the songs that you write and we'll be singing the people's lyrics. That's just an example of the energy that I see that could possibly manifest from this particular, you know, oh, look at you, digital marketing specialist. It's okay. Just got an email. Somebody's like, well, we've been watching your YouTube. We want to help you improve it. You just want me to go on Fiverr. Spend some notage there. It's all good. No worries. However, what you guys can actually see is when it comes to your family, right? Make sure that you're allowing the children and the pets to get some of your time, right? You guys are going to see that when it comes to spending quality time and really sharing, your time with the children and the pets. What you'll be able to do is find that the love that you give to those in your home is actually just as important as the food that you provide from your career. And with that, I yield the floor. Next, we're going to be in the Leo zone. Pardon me, the Virgo zone. Forgive me. Virgo zone is next, and this will be taken in the 6th house where the moon is. All right, and the sun is in the 12th. And this is happening near Managua, right? Managua, Nicaragua, right? And this is happening about 0600 hours, 40 minutes, and 21 seconds. And this is for the 7th March, 2023, right? So with that being said, pertaining to the Virgo zone, which is also dealing with us too, for the eastern half, so to speak, the eastern half for North America is very Virgoan, whereas the western portion is very Leonian. So with this full moon in Virgo within the Virgo zone, guys, it's so interesting too because Virgo is the 6th sign of the zodiac while it's here dealing with the 6th house. I think what you guys will be able to find that when you go to a restaurant and you go to highlight the hospitality, you may be having an experience where you're like, man, the service is usually better here, or what will actually happen, what you'll realize is there's going to be an improvement to a restaurant that you really detested and somebody wanted to go there to eat, and you realize that the people there are really paying attention a lot more to how they not only present the food, however, they present themselves. And it's going to be a lot more psychologically healing the experience along with whatever food you get. You may be ordering quote unquote takeout, so to speak. And what you'll realize is the beings that actually serve you your food, whether they go to pick up your food and they travel in their own land conveyance to you, what you'll realize is that these beings are really taking themselves seriously in the endeavors that they take on, being either a quote unquote Uber Eats driver or an Instacarter or a Go Puffer, right? You'll really start to see the difference between those that are just trying to quickly get finances, digital finances, so to speak, quote unquote, and then those that actually take time to actually write notices or little letters and thanking you for choosing them. Or they'll say that it's been a pleasure to serve you. And you guys will actually see that come to head, which will also ultimately shape the way you will want to deal with beings in the future, right? So this could be a bit of a spoiling yet hospitable, so to speak, kind of full moon for those in the Virgo zone. You're going to find yourself wanting to be catered to. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, what you'll do is you'll go to where you're loved instead of where you're tolerated. And with that, I want to speak briefly on the fact that Jupiter's in the 1st house, ruling the 1st also, while the Aries Libra axis is intercepted. So that just says for me that Jupiter and Mars is assisting and ruling the 1st house. Jupiter, Neptune, and Mars. And Neptune is clearly comfortable in the 12th house, right? What I wanted to just speak on that is the people will be able to expand themselves by making sure the institution where they go to be served is very active and caring about the people and the local communication, so to speak. Like people will actually give off, not even if they're not from, that particular area, they will be very down to earth in how they deal with you and communicate to you fairly, and making sure that you have an isolated yet cared for experience. And with that, I yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, for the Leo zone, Brother Sean Aline L. Islam.
Islam. All right, so we had the Leo zone. We had Albuquerque, New Mexico. March 7th for the Tuesday. We got Sun in the first now. We have Luna and the 7th, which Luna is conjunct vertex. So this is, somebody's partner. For some will be maybe finding a way to relate some health issues or different type of medicines, or like even like someone's gym trainer. I'm getting to be able to help really assist them. This is like the house of relating, right? So being able to see which herbs or medicines is needed. And also just different various spiritual practice. So like yoga for some, or even just like something simple as stretching, going outside and grounding, putting your feet in the ground. With that sun as first, it's like you're able to see it. So having these dreams and revelations while the sun's in Pisces. I want to get to somebody else to just seeing like a lot of like old friends they haven't seen in a while, like at random places. With that Saturn's conjunct ascendant, look at that. So like able just to break away from like I said, what's not serving you in order to I guess really just make room and make way for the things that you envision for yourself, that you look for. So able to reflect on, just really that whole Saturn and Aquarius and even Capricorn as he's about to move into Pisces. So really just seeing how you pour it out within yourself to others. How have you like the things, the actions that you do, how's that displayed out into the world, and studying that and seeing what works and what doesn't work. And just looking to continue to rebel and break away from things that don't serve you in your mind. Maybe even a sibling assisting of helping them see their own value, or vice versa. Of that I'll yield. All right, Leo, moving into where you bam, there you are. All right, moving on to the Cancer zone. We're at Port Hardy, Canada. Shout out to the Hardy brothers.
Yeah, hilarious.
Right. So Tuesday. So this looks like this is all occurring for the global collective all on Tuesday. Right. So this is going to be a very active day. Right. But this full moon, like it's beautiful. Moon's in the eighth. So also I would say letting go, like we continue to let go. So now that everybody will be able to like start planting new seeds with this, right? You can maybe see some marriage proposals, more proposals, matrimonial proposals going on, or folks posting just dates of when they would like to. Employment and medicine too is that. So this is just like even with the farmers when they're tilling the soil, right? Preparing it to plant. As we do with ourselves, this is removing away the weeds and the bad soil so that now the seeds that we plant will be ready. And also too, for anyone in this Canada area, even like Capricorn rising, maybe going to like a herbalist, or just studying some things for yourself, and doing it the natural way to help with like sexual dysfunction. This is also a really good time for that. For that to really come from diets, as my bros have said, just the things that you eat and exercise and all those things. And I'll say here, stay away from those 100 packs, right? And all these other things that they sell to, think to give you a boost, but long-term wise, it's really not beneficial. for you, Sun's in the 7th. So yeah, really valuing the information that you received while you were younger, and also just valuing the new information that you received as you got older, as you continue to step into this molded or version of yourself that you wanted to see, while also loving yourself. Like, this is like everybody give yourself on a pat on the back too, like just from coming and growing where you have to where you are now. Whether that's in a great light or whether it's not, but just kind of like just seeing the work that you have done, like just the day in and day out. Right. So even when it does, seem like, oh, well, this happened, it's like, do you not know, like, the 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years and time and, hours and sweats, lack of sleep, that it took for me to get here. All right. With this energy. Wow. And now, yeah. And we're also learning from just like past pain in relationships, just from ways that we've been indecisive about ourselves. We're able to really learn that. And now we're able to expand upon that healing from realizing when it comes to like commerce and financial matters. And now we're able to come to a new sense of it, to expand upon that. All right. So, for that. And with that, yeah, I'll yield the floor for the Cancer zone. My last one. Finish up so that brother Sign can pardon me, close us out. All right.
Yo.
We're at Liku Nue. All right, so we got Sol and Luna in the 3rd and 9th house axis, right? Sun at 3rd, Pisces. Oh wow, yeah, that's Sun and Uranus will be in the 6th now that I'm looking. And Luna's trine Uranus. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is letting go, yo. I'm gonna keep saying it. Letting go to plant new seeds. Right? This is like Keisha Cole, Let It Go. Usher, Let It Burn, right? You gotta let the old things burn. Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful moon. Oh, wow. And for those, yeah, when you go out, look for Regulus in the sky. Regulus should be able to be seen now. Suns and Pisces, so Virgo stars will be viewed. So yeah, look for that Regulus. And as you look at that royalty in the sky, think to yourself that is also within you, to find the royalty within you. And you're able to start organizing things that were foreign to you that you might have rejected. So like a Christian might be like, I don't like that whole Buddhist or Hindu thing, but then they'll see a video or, read one text and able to see that their text relates to how they are. Is just a different category, right? Sure. And they're able to get that hatred, right, out of their hearts, as we posted with the Chappelle show, and you also read from CMB, is getting that hatred out and stepping into that truth. Let it out. Basically. Embracing that truth that hasn't been told, quite frankly. And some folks didn't want that told, but hey, just like they can't stop the rain, they can't stop the truth. I mean, let's just tell it like it is, right? And yeah, and just being careful of trying to bring disgrace to someone, because that could bring great disgrace to you. So be love out here. Luna and Uranus is trine, so this is values you're able to like just really embrace. And once you see like the value and you have that within yourself, you're not able to be so worrisome. With Sun and Pisces too, you're able to grow upon that balance between the physical, the five cycle, and the spiritual, and also the soul plane level. So be able to balance those 3 different planes out with the many subplanes, and just finding love within that and being love. And if you don't know what love is, you might just start finding out for yourself and just letting go of like negative, chatty gossip, right? Just books that ain't serving you, childhood friends that aren't serving you, memories that aren't serving you. Just letting go of everything that ain't serving you, so that ye can elevate to the next level. And with that, I will yieldeth the floor. And moving on to the Taurus zone.
Taurus zone. All right. I'm pretty sure this is happening where the moon is in the 10th now and the sun is in the 4th, right? So again, we already know that this is taking place as far as Pisces, sun transiting tropic Pisces, moon transiting tropic Virgo. What we can really see here, guys, we can really allow ourselves to probably jump back into that cookbook that we were deciding to actually present. We can really now take the different wisdoms that we've learned about new nutritional outlooks that we have gained, the wisdom pertaining to such. And what we'll be able to do is immediately institute an expansive way of learning from the pain from what we have normally done with nutritional values. And what we can do now is present to the people a detailed book pertaining to your journey when it comes to nutrition and what it is that you have now. So particularly for this Taurus zone, right, near White Sands, Vanuatu, right? So what you can actually do here is really take on someone's recipe. Maybe someone will share their grandmother's recipe to something that it's something that you thoroughly enjoy. And what you've learned that it was something as little as a certain spice or a certain amount of water that really was changing the overall taste and or flavor to what it is that you actually enjoy, right? Get very close to when it comes to being down to earth. So you may actually go to your garden also, or utilize things that are within your garden to have a much fresher experience pertaining to the ingredients that you care to utilize within a recipe for a particular dish that you would like to present to your loved ones. You may find the need that you want to actually present this to your mother and father. It may be an anniversary. All right. It may be the fact that you would like to bring home an actual culture type of theme, right? So let's say, for example, you enjoy Abyssinian food, right? Because it's really Abyssinia, not Ethiopia. And what you'll do now, instead of actually traveling abroad to where Abyssinians are, you'll be able to follow the recipe pertaining to that said type of food that you enjoy. Or maybe it's Hindustani, right? Some food ideas from Sindh pertaining to what is contemporarily termed India. And what you'll be able to do is center oneself also in a fashion as if you actually are some form of galactic traveler that is now enforcing the input necessary to actually spearhead, so to speak, and go full steam, full speed ahead in making sure that you master that particular recipe so that you can present that for your loved ones. And I think particularly this is someone's mother and father may be experiencing some type of anniversary. And I am thinking that the children may want to be able to present food for the heads that are there. Interestingly, with Jupiter in the 4th with the sun, Jupiter has accidental dignity in the 4th, right? So with that being said, I think what will also be brought to the forefront is the said mother and father that this will be presented to will actually see that they had no idea that their children paid that much attention to them. So the children will definitely bring home or localize. They will think globally yet act locally for their loved ones. With that, I yield the floor. Moving to the Aries zone. Luna will now be in the 11th house and Sol will be in the 5th. Oh, right. Yeah. Sol will be in the 5th. So let's share in detail those things that we actually want to have secured, right? Let's make sure that if you allow your children to go back and forth between different homes because they want to hang with their friends and or spend the night or hang with other loved ones and things of that nature. And what you can actually do is really be creative in instituting the rules necessary so that the children will actually not have to deal with a fated interaction that is not beneficial to them. And what you can do here also is just lay down the values necessary pertaining to the overall standing at each other's different homes, right? Different domuses, right? So what I think will be best is to go behind the scenes, all right? Really, especially for those that are near the Jayapura, Sukamapur. Really allow yourselves to really deputize that which is necessary in communicating a means for everyone to get along. And so that each household's head, the mothers and fathers of each house, no matter where the children would like to, share their time, make sure what is communicated is that there's a universal respect for each other's homes, each other's domiciles, right? And with that, I yield the floor as we go to the Pisces zone and we finish up here. Luna will be in the 12th house and Sun will be in the 6th. So we're going to shine light on how we're serving one another. All righty. And making sure in the way that we're serving one another, we're actually communicating that which is necessary to institute the security in detail, while allowing ourselves to give rise to our subconscious mind and emotions pertaining to how we feel so that we can take it seriously with that which is being communicated. And a healthy balance and just fashion will really allow ourselves to really relate the wounds and wounded healing that will really expand the way that we get along with one another, especially here near the Gurun Malaysia portion pertaining to the planet, which is under or within the Pisces zone. And with that, I yield the floor to my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Brother Sean Ramel Islam.
Islam, bro. And bleep, bleep, bleep this off, folks.
Islam.
Right, so, yeah, that was beautiful. Like, and I can't even really I'm post tomorrow. I know you went in for Tuesday. You had the full moon and Saturn ingress Pisces, so make some post for that. And yeah, here it goes, and we ain't talking about the Keenan and Kel show.
Exactly. Orange salad.
Here it goes.
You know Kel love orange salad.
I do. I do. Ooh. Right.
Crystal Lewis in the chat says rose, puts a rose there, as well as the colloquial peace symbol, the sign language mudras for peace, as it's called, right? Colloquially in certain areas. So peaceful greetings to you, to the account that says Crystal Lewis on YouTube. And guys, we thank you so much for joining us for Intuition Monday. All right, we're going to close on out. I yield the floor to our beloved brother, whom we're well pleased, Brother Sean Aleem Braveheart L.
Soon indeed. You already know we'll be back Wednesday for the Astro Weather Report. Tomorrow's the Jurisprudence Gym, Thursday Jurisprudence Gym, Friday Impromptu, Sunday AstroCivics. So if you don't know, just become familiar with the schedule. If you do, thank you for showing up. And y'all enjoy the rest of your lovely Moon Day Monday, and happy full moon to everyone. Exact. It's definitely coming up. So, our delineations could be 3 days before, 3 days after, but really it's all timeless. Yeah, timeless. Sometimes some things might take maybe almost a whole sun cycle to show up. But
yeah, either way, Seven Hill Star Astrology Firm does not miss.
because we are the
yeah, because I know what you're speaking about too. You got to find that clip for when that BS happened with Chris Rock and Will Smith. And Brother Sean said that I had mentioned that a special will come up, and then just near the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic, there was a Netflix live of Chris Rock doing a comedy show from near the Baltimore Corporation. Interessante, right? So like Brother Sean said, sometimes we may say things and predict things that may not happen if it doesn't happen immediately, look within like a sun cycle or a little over that and see what has happened, because 9 times out of 10, what you guys will really realize is we're not doing anything, just being ourselves and being the energy that is necessary to assist in uplifting fallen humanity. So at the forefront pertaining to our minds, as always, is Prophet Noble Drawley. And we're assisting in uplifting fallen humanity and utilizing that which is termed for science, which is cosmology and astrology. All right. And getting the instructions also, not only from Prophet Noble Drawley, but also Charles Mosley Bay. All right. And listening to those honorable things here and there that certain elders share. And we take that and expand that even further and continuing to be in honor and full honor at all times so that we can bring you all what it is. And when I say you all, I'm talking about those of you that are being sincere about being Moorish American. We do not cater to the Negro, blacks, and colors, respectfully, or the whites and yellows and browns. We do not deal with foolishness. All right. We're only about making sure that those that are sincere about being AstroCivicians and being sincere AstroCivic students have what it is that's necessary as we freely share our energy every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on YouTube. However, remember, guys, schedule your Mirror AstroLiteracy session, all righty, with either I or Brother Sean, since we're here in front of you. However, Brother Corey and Brother Terrell also do the Mirror AstroLiteracy sessions, and get your mental magician report as prepared divinely by Brother Sean Alinell. And soon you will be seeing more of I and Brother Sean probably on other social media platforms doing some lives pertaining to astrology and tarot. But like, don't get it twisted, guys. We really like I told Brother Sean, like, I'm real chill with my tarot, but we're not gonna play. Like, there's I have 2 sets of tarot right here. I go Hizard, right? We really don't play. I know Brother Sean's got quite a few tarot decks himself. It's just that all the brothers utilize their tarot differently. All right. It's not about, let me wrap some crystals around my body and just start giving elaborate spreads and things of that nature. So how many decks is that? It's like 3 decks right there, bro.
3, yeah. And
yeah, no.
It's like 2 more somewhere else.
Yeah.
He said, don't buy your own decks. Oh, yeah, I'm going to definitely cop my own.
Cop my own deck. You know what I mean? However, with that being said, Brother Sean, I yield the floor to you, beloved brother Islam.
There we go. All right, yeah. We're out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Happy full moon to you guys. All those with Saturn and Pisces, happy early Saturn return to you. All right. And we is out.
Hold on, because all the naivety is definitely going to fall off from you guys. Seriously. Training wheels is about to fall off for you experiencing your Saturn returns. So it's time to stop making excuses and really see yourself or be forced to make changes. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love.